Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, we've been getting some big news about big fights. 2025 is going to be, some big fights coming up. A lot of them, we got David Morrell and them coming up. David Morrell and Benavidez, which, guys, I'm telling you, they should be promoting it different. Seriously, they should be putting Canelo Alvarez on blast. You know, a battle of the guys that Canelo didn't want to fight. A battle of Canelo's mandatories. Remind people, these guys were the mandatory challenger for Canelo both over 2 years, right? And he decided not to fight these guys. So, but what we got is that they're just ignoring them like they just, coincidentally went up to the next division. No, they were at 168 and weren't allowed to go after their legacy because Canelo and the sanctioning bodies blocked them. There's no way I wouldn't be saying that all the time if I was either one of them. But maybe they're getting paid not to, right? That's what I think. Because, people, clear thinking people would be like, we're having this fight now up at 175 because we at 168 we weren't going to have it because I'm in the WBC, he's in the WBA, and we're waiting on our mandatory so we can beat up Canelo and then have undisputed. That was the plan, but the sanctioning bodies did something and we're suing them as we speak. That's what you want to hear, but that's not how it works on this planet right now, right? But anyway, moving on. You got other fights coming up in the February 22nd card with all those fights. My boy Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois throwing down one of the baddest dudes out here, period. Bivol is going back against his rematch against Beterbiev, which he lost, which was so close that we can do stuff like this. We don't know who really won it, but Beterbiev got the nod. And other fights on that card. I'm going to tell you something. Virgil Ortiz versus Madrimov. Why not? Go ahead. The other two fights, lesser fights, but still good ones, But listen, all of that's coming up, right? But a fight that's coming up towards the end of the year, which I hope it happens. I don't know if it's going to happen, but, because it's not going to happen until September instead of May. I would have liked it to happen right in May. But that's between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Oh, excuse me, y'all. The living legend in Terence Crawford, right? Versus Canelo Alvarez. Now, Terence Crawford would have to go up these weight divisions. I don't think it's going to be a catch weight. It would be nice if it'd be about 164 pounds, but if he's going all the way up to Canelo's 168 pounds, it's a hard task. But your boy Terence Crawford want to try that before he calls it a day with boxing. Why not go up to fight Canelo? And for people who saying he shouldn't do it, well, everybody calls Canelo great, right? They call him great. No one is saying nothing about him not fighting Benavidez and Morrell, right? And others throughout his career. So if you're going to keep calling him great, I hear people saying he's one of the best ever, right? So with Terence Crawford, it's like, well, okay, if he's one of the best ever and he's these weight classes above me, I want to be the best one of my era. That's what this is about for Terence Crawford. For Canelo, it's just, okay, let me get some money, and, it's easier than me going to try to fight the rematch against Bivol or the winner of Benavidez and Morrell, so they up at 175, and I can't really take a super easy fight, so he's smaller than me, he ain't gonna hurt me really, and I'm gonna get a whole lot of money. So for Canelo, it's like that. And Canelo given the first defeat of Terence Crawford, because there's gonna be a lot of people are talking us like one idiot said that 99% of people think Canelo is gonna win. I ain't gonna even mention no names, just ridiculous. Shut up. Ain't nobody's 99% of nobody says Canelo's winning this fight. About 70% tops, and I'm thinking 60-40. Canelo and for Canelo, 40% for your boy Terence Crawford. If they were the same size, it would be 90% Crawford and 10%, but it's not that. Because of the size, people think this could be too far of a jump, and it probably will be. But at the end of the day, we'll get to that when we get there. But right now, I would say it's 60-40, because there's a lot of people, that think that Terence Crawford can handle this. A whole lot, especially in the world of boxing. So that's where it counts. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's going up. right? But let me remind you of something, right? Lomachenko, right? You guys know him, the best fighter we've ever seen. You remember Teddy Atlas? You know, the best we've ever seen. Remember Bob Arum, the best fighter he's ever had, you know, even better than Roy Jones, stuff like that. Remember that? That guy. Well, when that guy was at 130 pounds and Terence Crawford was 140 pounds, do you know what he said was going to be? Why he ain't fighting Terence Crawford? He said that would be suicide to fight Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford wasn't but 10 pounds north of him, right? It'd be suicide to fight Terence Crawford. Are we talking about some suicide for Terence Crawford going up way more weight than Lomachenko would have had to do to fight him? No. We ain't nobody talking about suicide here. It's just like, yo, you might lose. Barely. And would anybody have had the best fighter that we've seen in Lomachenko going up 10 pounds to fight Terence Crawford? And I think they would have did a catch weight too, but I'm just going to say go all the way up to 10. Because I know Terence Crawford wasn't at 147 yet. And I don't think that your boy Lomachenko was at 126 still. He was at 130. So it's 10 pounds, right? And I know if he was at 126, Crawford would have came down to about 138, 137. So he's, 10, 12 pounds away. Suicide. You see what I'm saying? The best fighter we ever had with all the foot movement and all that matrix stuff, it was like, I ain't going up here to 140 to mess with this dude. Because that's suicide. That's the kind of respect Terence Crawford garnered. You understand? With Canelo, there's no one talking about no suicide to go up to fight Canelo, even at 168, even if he goes to the full 168. Just want to put this in perspective, because when you're reading articles, especially American articles, if you're going to read international news and try to read it from Europe or somewhere else, Southern Hemisphere or something, but if you're reading American articles, there's places like Boxing News 24, for example, the Fox News of boxing. They'll have nothing positive to say about anybody of color, right? No, they're not into Terence Crawford. They're not into Devin Haney. They ain't into Deontay Wilder. They sure ain't into damn Floyd Mayweather, and probably not even Andre Ward. And those are the names that I would always say, if you don't like all 4 or 5 of those with Devin Haney being added, there's something wrong with you, and you know what I'm talking about. And that's the kind of places, articles that get published, right? So when they're talking about Terence Crawford, there's all the bad things, He's never had it. His resume is not good and stuff like that. Undisputed in 2 weight divisions. Could have been undisputed in lightweight too, which made 3 weight divisions. Would have did it at 154 already when Jamel Charlo was the champion, right? Now, it's getting up out of there. Possibly could be 3 division undisputed. And I think it would have been 4 if they would have let him do it at 154 and then try to go up to 168 with Canelo. And 168 is let's be real, it's an ask. I don't think he beats everybody at 168. If Benavidez was there, Steele and Morrell was there, right? But if the champion is Canelo or Belanga or something like that, or even Munguia, if Saras can beat Munguia, I think Terence Crawford could too. You see what I'm saying? But if Canelo is like the third probably the 4th best at that weight, if Benavidez and Morrell was there, because I would put Canelo also behind Demetrius Andrade. But I don't think Terence Crawford beats everybody at 168. It's all about Canelo right now. And you guys are saying that Canelo's undisputed. That's why he's going to try to do it. It's all about undisputed first, money second. That's why Canelo's going to probably fight William Skull in May to get that title back. I don't know who Terence Crawford should fight, because here's the deal about Terence Crawford. I don't know who he should fight. He should just go and fight a catchweight or somebody a little bit more than 154 or something like that to try to acclimate himself, because if he fights 154, he's going to want to do something significant. And then if he wants to do something significant, then you're almost undisputed. Say if he beat somebody else, he got 2 belts, then why go fight Canelo then? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't know. So I don't know what Crawford's going to do. I ain't going to even act like I do. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a good fight between these guys. We're going to be hyped. At least it's 2 huge names, and it's a legacy fight for the guys. So we can sit back and relax. But I just want to remind you what Lomachenko said about fighting Terence Crawford going up 10 pounds. that's suicide. Remember that. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm about to hear y'all.